Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the top 3 best budget cards at each position here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. And I will say, for the most part, what I mean by budget card is sub 50K. There are a few players on this list who slightly pass the 50K mark in price, simply because I think they are as good as they are for their value, which is still under 100, and really, really great value cards that you kind of must have for their position and for their value. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 20,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Trying to hit 20K by the end of February. Obviously, going to be a big time grind. We're like 1,800 subscribers away, and we got the whole month of February to go. So, would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with the point guard position, number 3 spot. It's going to be Cade Cunningham, actually. I like this Cade, but unless you are an elite level dribbler, I don't think he is the best budget point guard you can use. I think there are a couple better options, simply because he's not the greatest defender, not an awful defender, and even without speed booster, he does dribble quite well. Having Trey escape is really useful. That's an elite level sig that not very many guards have. At the same time, he doesn't, besides that Trey escape, move that insanely well, and while his shooting badges are very good, he's not an unbelievable slasher. He is a good one, but not insane. Cade is really good. When we get a new Cade, if we get a new Cade soon, I could see him arguably being the best point guard in the game. But right now, I think this one's just a little outdated. At the same time, he's a very good value point guard. And if you know how to dribble, he is one of the best point guards in the game, period. But you have to be an elite level dribbler to really make full use of Cade. Dante Exum is who I have at number 2. Exum is a 6'5" defensive PG with a great release and really complete badges is what I love about this card. 90 speed, 90 excel, 92 3-ball, 80 driving dunk, solid finishing badges, great shooting badges, really good playmaking badges as well outside of not having speed booster, and then defensively he's also very solid. No speed booster again is annoying, and that basic dribble style is also not great, but hard and behind the back is very nice. His release is awesome. Hoping that we see the Exum base on some more cards. That's a release that I think could be on some top tier cards towards the end of the year, an in-game type release. Hoping to see more than one in-game release this year for sure. Either way, Exum base is awesome. The whole jump shot is great. I think he's an awesome card. Dante DiVincenzo, speaking of the Dantes, is who I have at number 1. I understand he's 84,000 MT. I don't care. He's arguably the best point guard of the entire game. For 84,000 MT, this is a must-have on pretty much everyone's squad. Elite shooter, really solid but not insane finisher and slasher, but very good playmaker. Also a great defensive PG, even has anchor in addition to all the perimeter ability. So he's one of the best defensive point guards in the game, but he also has great shooting badges, great playmaking, and solid slashing ability. Really nice behind the back, Kobe escape, good release, good dribble style. Overall, a ton to like, and I think Dante DiVincenzo is one of the best point guards in all of my team. Really, really high on him as an overall card, and I think it's really easy to put him as the number 1 spot here. I know he's kind of expensive, but he is worth every penny. Caleb Williams is who I have at the number 3 spot at shooting guard. 6'8" shooting guard is a pretty good defender, really nice release. Overall, I like this card, man. Caleb Houston, he is solidly fast, very good shooter. Not the best playmaker in the world, but not awful. At least he's got decent playmaking. Defensively, again, pretty solid. 90 perimeter. He is 6'8" at the shooting guard position, which is really nice, although he's not an elite level slasher. Release is great. D-Book's release is very good. Basic leaner is nice as well. Steph's drag back and behind the back as well give him a really good combination in terms of shot creation. Combine that with the size, the defense. Overall, it's a great card. He's very, very good, but I do think there's a couple guys that are slightly better. Number 1, Nick Young, elite shooter, elite slasher, really good release, Jamal Murray behind the back. Incredible all-around offensive card. He doesn't give you the defense that some other guys do at the shooting guard position for sure, not even close, but he's one of the best offensive shooting guards in the game, period, regardless of budget or value or anything. Incredible playmaker with that Jamal Murray behind the back, obviously, and then his release is insane. He's also a really, really good slasher. Just a really complete, versatile, really, really good card. Despite not being the greatest defender, I think he is in the top 3. But I will say Strawther is number 1 to me, and I don't think it's all that close among budget shooting guards. He's got like a base 3-esque release. He's got range. He's got a great just overall, he's a great shooter. Finishing wise, also really good. 85 driving dunk, has gold, fast twitch, precision dunker, posterizer. Got the playmaking badges, again, outside of speed booster, but that's okay. And defensively, I like him a lot. He's basically a better Caleb Houston, in my opinion. Release is just as good, better shot creator, better slasher. And while he doesn't quite have the same in a couple areas in terms of SIGs and stuff, I just think he's an overall better card. All three of these guys are great options, though, if you're looking for a budget shooting guard. Definitely think you can't go wrong with any of these three. At small forward, Jaden McDaniels admittedly is pretty darn expensive for a Ruby because he's the Pyramid of Power player. He's 30K, crazy expensive. At the same time, elite defender, really good catch and shoot shooter. Not going to do much else, but he's got a really nice release, and he's a great versatile defender on the perimeter and the interior. He is the definition of 3-and-D, very much a Jonathan Isaac-esque build in my team, but he is absolutely elite as a 3 and especially as a D. So there you go. Small forward option. He's a good starting option. OG Anunoby is expensive, but I think he's great. Just barely over the 50K MT price point. In a few weeks, I would assume he'll be under it, but he's like 63K right now. I assume in the next few weeks he will go under 50K, but he's a really good 3-and-D defensive wing. Again, great defender, very athletic, 90 driving dunk, good shooter as well with a really nice release, and can put the ball on the floor a little bit. I think he's just a really nice, versatile small forward. I think he's a really good card. Definitely would not sleep on him as an option. And then Dennis Rodman is my number 1 option, a 6'7" Evo PG that gets pretty much every single important shooting badge in the game when he is evolved, not to mention being one of the most versatile and best defensive guys in the game. Also having an elite level 95 standing dunk, very athletic card, not the best playmaker in the world. And yes, his release is not great as well. I understand that, but I still think Rodman is one of the better small forwards you can use in my team. And I think 42K is a really good price. At the number 4 spot, or sorry, at the power forward position, this is a weird one, I will say, but Nick Claxton is just the guy I'm going to throw in here at number 3. There isn't really a great third option, and he would be the 4th center in my opinion. So I think throwing him at power forward is not a bad option here. He's a little slow for the power forward position, and he's not going to put the ball on the floor at all, but he's a great interior player on both ends of the court. Really good dunker and has a very nice release and an 88 3 ball. It's about all you go to know about Claxton. I would honestly say he's more of a center than a power forward, but you put him on the power forward position on this video. Kenyon Martin, when evoed, is a really solid budget power forward as well, although I will say your power forward position, the guy you should be running is Chet Holmgren. Obviously, I mean, he's so easy to get and so good. That card should be your starting power forward regardless, so you really shouldn't need a center, a budget power forward, or you should only really need one. But I like Kmart. He's got a shooting evo that makes him a really solid shooter. He's super athletic, and he's a pretty good interior defender, but he's not a great perimeter defender, not an elite shot creator, and release is not ideal either. I don't love that card either. I think Alonzo Mourning is pretty much by far in this type of price range your best option, although he admittedly is pretty expensive as well, 73K, but he is the last of the expensive over 50K cards on this list. Great finisher, can put the ball on the floor as well. 86 ball handle means he can burst. He's got a couple decent playmaking badges, and he's an incredible defender. Really versatile 4. Can stretch the floor well. I actually think he's great at the 4. If you are needing a power forward, I think Alonzo Mourning can be an awesome option at the admittedly a little bit expensive. Center position, just like with Chet at the 4, you should be running Embiid at the 5, so you should really only need one backup center, but there are more very good budget centers in the game than there are power forwards, clearly. For example, Dikembe, great interior defender, really honestly not a bad shooter either, and a great interior dunker. He can't really put the ball on the floor at all. He's not super fast, I understand that, but he's huge, a great dunker, great defender, and with the shooting evo, not a bad shooter at all either. Dikembe is a really good card. Miles Turner at number 2 has a great release, half anchor, great interior defender, really nice card. Not the most insane size at only 6'11", but pretty decent wingspan. Just does a lot of things really well. Half removal enforcer is a great badge. He's a pretty good perimeter defender as well for a big. Not bad speed, really good shooter. Like I said, I like the release a lot. He's a great athlete. I think he's a really good card. And then, but number 1, it's got to be Mo Bamba. It definitely is Mo Bamba. I understand on paper, Miles Turner is actually a little better than Mo Bamba probably. Sorry, that's Bam at a bio. I wish he was on this list, but he's a little too much out of the price range to stretch. Regardless, 82 speed on Bamba is very nice. 85 3 ball, 85 standing and driving dunk. Defensively, half anchor, chase down. Also has half rise up. That's a big badge for standing dunks. Also really like his release a lot. I think his release is honestly my favorite of any of these bigs. I do like Miles's a lot as well, but I think Mo's is my favorite. He is my number 1 budget center right now, and I think he's a really good card. As a whole, got some pretty good budget cards in my team right now, not to mention all the amazing free cards that you can get as well, from Chet to Embiid to Thurl Bailey to Chris Millen to Tyrese Halliburton to all the previous season's rewards as well. And more cards coming soon. I think 2K is doing a nice job with free and budget content across the board, although it'd be nice to see some better budget cards at certain positions in the near future. Regardless, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.